All right, everyone, and welcome to the stream and welcome to Monday. And of course, almost welcome to the end of the worst month of the year, technically, based on September. I hope you had a great weekend. I hope you're ready to get started and talk about markets. As always, guys, we'll be talking stocks, commodities, and cryptos. And there is a little bit to discuss this week because we have to talk about what is really going to happen into the month of October and whether this 50 basis point cut means anything to us. Obviously, what is next? Just a quick reminder, if you enjoy the streams, if you enjoyed the intro, yes, we're changing some things up here, then make sure to give this stream a like and also comment down below if you're watching in replay. I always like to read your comments after the stream is ended while we do a little bit of Monday Open. All right, well, let's get started, guys. We know we're in an election year. Yes. It's almost to the point now where it's the greatest long-term Netflix show that's ever gone on because it's been going for what seems like an eon, and I'm starting to get burnt out on it. But that doesn't mean the market's burnt out because, of course, volatility is usually going to spike into October. We know that the vol moments generally kind of uptick around this time. We'll talk a little bit about what the market's doing because there are some crazy stats that we'll share in just a moment. But in general, this probably is going to be an opportunity should we actually see volatility start to come through. Now, let's have a look at this wild stat because I will share this in our next video. This is for the close, and it's a 100% stat. And basically, it shows that when we have an all-time high gap up like we did last week, we haven't seen this too many times, like 13 to 15 times over the last couple of, maybe last decade. And when we see this type of thing occur, it has a 100% probability of around a 4.4% return over the next 3 months. Now, that's actually signaling that markets could go up considerably over the next couple of months, like even upwards of 9%, 8 to 9%, as you can see here in the stats. And that basically there isn't too much to be concerned about. Now, this stacks on top of what we've already started to see. Did anyone watch the weekend video? I hope a few of you did. We saw in that there were some interesting stats about all-time high cuts. Now, I know 50 basis points. We'll talk about it during the stream today. But of the 7 that end up positive over the week, which they did, that's actually, again, a good sign of structure. So at the moment, we have a couple of things. We have the all-time high gap, one of the fastest and most aggressive gaps since 2020. We have a couple of reads there. We have the reads of the strong week. And we know that at least with what I track, which some of you know, some of the things I track, one of them is margin balance in a little bit different form that we'll look at in just a moment. This is not the sign of a ending market. Generally not the topping, the end of the world, like many people out there right now are kind of insinuating. You may have noticed that there's a lot of people saying the end of the world is about to occur. And I have been caught before saying that it would be terrifying to get a 50 basis point cut. And I actually believe that that is terrifying in itself because you could blame it on election year. You could blame it on maybe the interest rate repayments are too high from the Federal Reserve. They know this, so they're trying to change it. You could do a lot of things, but what it really tells us is that they like to be around 2% away from inflation, and they're prepared to do that cut. So this is the first stat I thought I'd share today. The second stat I want to talk about is this margin debt, because this is very, very important when you're thinking about, is everyone all in on the charts? And we're not quite there yet. So you can see here that FINRA margin debt balance is not really exactly above the long-term average. It's actually underneath and actually down-ticked during the month of August. And that makes sense because we saw CTAs actually dumping positions into that, and only recently have they started upticking it. But there are some really good things. We'll put them in the end of the day show. We'll talk more about that macro stuff. Obviously, we're here to discuss markets as well. But I thought today I wanted to just kind of talk to you guys and say, look, whatever's going on here, it doesn't look like it's the end over the next couple of months, okay? It looks like it's going to sustain to 2025. It looks like it's going to sustain to possibly the mid to even late or even the early 26. And again, I'm doing some work on this at the moment. You might say, well, that's impossible, Tom. You're an idiot. I'm a bear. This market's cooked. Yes, but you usually need the right types of signs. So remember, at the moment, what do we know? What's one of our favorite asset classes out there, guys, at the moment? What's been doing pretty damn well over the last couple of days? Can anyone guess in the chat? You guys are smart. You know what you're in. What are you in? What are you liking right now? Also, if you want to sign up, we will. As we said, we're releasing the weekly newsletters all the time now into Christmas. So make sure use the QR code, snap that baby up, or click the link in the pinned comment and sign up. Free to do so. Sorry, Tom, for the basic questions, what are CTAs? Commodity Trade Advisors. Basically, we're looking at momentum funds. So momentum funds are somebody that would be, activating usually trades as markets start to usually go above things like daily 20 moving average, weekly 20 moving average. That type of thing's a good ballpark figure for when you get these momentum funds into it. That's right. Metals, utilities were hot on Friday. They certainly were. But most of you guys are right. It's gold. Gold was making a new high, and it was quite beautiful. Fabusa says, you are a perma bull. No, I'm not thinking I'm a perma bull. Ryan says, you are the fourth podcaster this weekend that I have heard definitely state that there is no way we are at the top. Are we celebrating a soft landing? I don't think so yet. I think the thing is that either, it comes back to people having to look, we are at like a very late cycle. So it's actually one of the most dangerous times. The next year is probably going to be one of the most dangerous times for us as traders and investors. Traders less so because you're just really looking for volatility, but investors definitely. This is the point, Ryan, where people are going to be quite confident in markets. It's not that I'm confident in the market. I think it's cooked completely, but you can look at this when you look, especially banks here in Australia. I mean, I don't know if anyone's done any fundamental analysis on the banks here in Australia, but they don't look very cheap to me. And the market is not cheap. So it's a dangerous time. And therefore, that's why we've been looking at some of the alternative assets a little bit here in terms of what's been going well. So, Ryan, it's either you're watching good stuff, maybe you're through some of the problems. I don't know. Let's do a quick poll of what generally people have been seeing around the internet. I'm actually interested. Let's do the poll. This is some of the best, our polls here on the channel, because we have so many watchers, are actually better than the political polls that I see. Some of those are like 150 people respondents and stuff, or 1,000 people, not many people. All right, let's do a poll here. We are going to ask the question of social media finfluencers. Is that what they're called? Finfluencers? I don't know. Finflus. That's what we're going to say. Bearish or bullish at the moment? Okay, so we're going to say bull. We're going to say bear. All right, guys, what are you seeing the most of? Let's have a look. Let's get your poll comments in here and see what you think. Joe Farmer says silver gold. Absolutely. Big key there. Certainly coming through. Jeff says, is that you, Meet Kevin? To Kevin. No, it's not Meet Kevin, but hello. I don't listen to anyone else. Victoria says, well, I appreciate that, Victoria. Thank you very much. Grant, golf poll. Welcome, Grant. Good to see you, man. I hope, did you win? Did you do well in golf on the weekend, or you didn't play? Lots of clickbait, but the worthwhile ones are putting out bull evidence. Market Riches says, yep, that's probably me. Always bearish, got to drive the views, says Fabusa. Bubba Bear, yep. And a lot of people basically going through here. Now, Grant would tell you, follow Grant on X if you'd like, guys. He would tell you that you should be generally looking towards more the bull end, because, of course, a lot of his breadth metrics are probably saying, you know what, it's okay still. But I think we need to be open to this vol. So let's actually get into these markets. Firstly, gold absolutely smacked that level. And I almost posted this over on X. I wanted to say, oh, guys, look, check this out. It's pretty sweet. Because what it was a direct hit into our TP zone number one. Oh, guys, come on. You can't not look at charts like this and get a little excited, yeah? You gotta feel it sometimes, because when you get these levels right and you just go, even if there's just a little response to it, does anyone else feel good about that? When you're doing your analysis, whether you've done, one of the courses we offer, or whether you're just kicking ass and TA in general or whatever, when you nail those levels and you see the market just go, oh yeah, I'll react off that. You got to say that is a great feeling. And I don't get old on that feeling. It doesn't matter whether I did it in 2007 or I do it now in 2024. Every time we hit a level, We see a reaction of it. You've just got to love it. So regardless, gold smashed that zone. And of course, silver at the same time hit into our TP zone 1, which means that it's going to struggle around here for a little bit. So I think with silver, this is actually probably the better read than gold now, because gold hit what we would use as an extension. Silver now, on the other hand, getting quite a lot of love online, I've seen. And we'll close the poll soon. So keep voting, guys, for what you're seeing around the internet. I love your polls and your answers here. So silver, 31.26. What a zone. Now, have we got through it? No. So you've got to think that silver's probably in consolidation. You'll notice we're starting to get a little bit of overbought reads. This is good for silver to chill here. And if you've been in it off the lows that we talked about recently, then this is, of course, that first TP zone. Now, if silver can get through here in the future, that's going to be a really strong sign for it. We're dealing with metals here first, because I know you want to talk S&P. We'll go there in a moment. So that if we get through this level, we could be looking at some serious squeeze, though, on silver. And I will enjoy if it gets through. But at the moment, that hasn't happened. Now, what have we been mentioning over the last 2 to 3 days? Well, of course, it has been the US dollar. And this is actually a replicable trade. It'd be interesting to see if it comes on the way up. So this is a trade that went super negative during the initial FOMC response. And remember, we do believe here at the channel that the FOMC is most likely moving towards probably, well, the Fed in general is moving towards crushing the dollar over the next year with a mixture of interest rate cuts and obviously just other techniques around the world. So we actually got an initial reaction to the bull end. And this is important because as this pulled back, it found some structure zone on what I call the last bulls. And that's because, of course, if it leaves this important line here and actually starts to crack underneath that, it's probably going to 99.50, maybe even 99 in the initial move. So I'm not surprised to see the dollar index up. Is anyone in US dollar longs at the moment here in the chat? Let us know. Barry with the big brain says, good morning, Tom. Good morning, big brain Barry. I don't know why I like these big brain images. That's funny as. Cameron Crockett says, absolutely nice work, Tom, or nice job, Tom. No worries. Invest and Rest says 100% doing your TA and making it work is very rewarding. It's the best, man. You know why? Because it means that you've done something that you can see. And remember this, I don't care whether it's smart money concepts, whether it's some swing trading, whether it's Elliott wave, whether it's some other technique. Ultimately, you are looking for the biggest positions in the world and you are trying to find where they are entering and exiting and you are trading accordingly. Remember, this cannot be stopped by the algorithms long term because they have to leave their footprint. Remember, Wyckoff stated this and he said, you're looking for the footprint of the biggest players, what he called the composite man. So when you start to see those reactions, remember, I had this important line here a long time ago. And you can see the initial reaction of it and now the building of structure around that. So the US dollar actually is strengthening here a little bit. Could it go up to around a 101.50? It's possible. I think overall it's still in a downward trend. Some key things to mark out will be the daily 20 moving average. There's actually been a very good 20 moving average. And you'll notice it's using my 1-2 system. So you've got the 1, you've got the short, the 2 kind of area around here. You've got the short, the 3, you've got the short, the 4, you've got the short, the 5, you've got the short. But because it's now starting to structure for the first time more in the bull end, other than right there, this could be the time it breaks the upsides. Just be a bit careful here. The narrative is now mostly US dollar weakness. I agree with that narrative, but I'm just seeing the small time frames a little bit of strength there. And I think that's pausing silver and gold for now. They've hit the key levels, the 2 zones we had in the charts, very important to note. Wahinu Yukovitz, thank you very much for Australian $2 donation. By the way, guys, Australians out there, Melbourne, the seminar that we're holding, the free seminar, it's almost filled. So you better get right in. I'm telling you, there's like 10 spots, maybe 6 spots left. So make sure if you want to attend the Melbourne one, that you do it. It's totally free. We're hosting it. We want to say thank you to you guys. We hope to do this around the world. New South Wales, October 30th, now opened up. Okay, so make sure to sign that out. Links are in one of our videos. Our most recent video, you can check it out, or probably in the description as well. If anyone's struggling, someone else will post it too. So yeah, make sure to sign up for the Sydney one. It's going to be great to see people there. So that's now set for October 30th. Okay, so US dollar, we've talked about this. We think that the dollar, the gold, and the silvers are kind of at those highs. They're sinking. So I'm feeling they're synced at a resistance for now. And I'm just going to say let's cool off on those for the moment. Although I'm still bullish on them multi-months, obviously, I do want to see silver get through that high. So let's move over to the US 500, what everyone cares about. This thing is very, very interesting. Now, I got lines everywhere here, and you might think, well, of course you're going to hit one of your lines when you've got lines everywhere. Well, that's okay, because we don't need most of these lines. We can actually delete most of these. So what we've got here is we've got our option high level, option low level for today. So you guys can see where the market's expected to hold within 68% of the time. It's always good to do that. Crash says, when are you coming back to the States? Hopefully 2025, I would say we will. Oliver says, Melbourne, or as my old Berkeley housemate used to say from the US, he goes, Melbourne. It's Melbourne, man, Melbourne. And I was like, what the hell's that? And he said, it's Melbourne. By the way, people say in Australia that there's always spiders and things that can kill you. And obviously I put out a meme on a kangaroo, but I will say you got to be careful up against the kangas in Australia. My car got attacked by one on the weekend. I'm not even kidding you. Kangaroo just out of nowhere. Boom. Whoops. That was a mistake. I really want to win in the States. Yeah, we'll do it in 2025, I hope. Can we get some TA on the Brownlow W music? Not at this stage. We can't. So why am I talking US 500? Because I want to go to the SPX for a moment. And I think this is where we need to discuss market action, because we know based on the poll, let's close the poll. Vote, 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 vote. Okay. Oh, I don't like this. 62% bull. Yes. Well, actually, it wouldn't surprise me. 61% bull, 38% bear. So that means that predominantly people are bullish. And that doesn't surprise me at all in the short term. So what we said at the start of today's stream is when we're talking about a 3-month turn. Okay. So we're talking 3 months. We're discussing the idea of where we're going to be in 3 months. Now, I do believe that we're starting the structure fairly well here for a post FOMC event. But does anyone know, what does this look like? You guys are smart. There was a big brain picture before. What do you think? And while I wait for you to tell me what this setup could be, I'm going to say thank you very much to Mike Davis, who's just become a new member. Thank you very much for supporting the channel. Obviously, guys, if you do want to support, sign up for the newsletter. It helps us out. And also, you can become a member, though really it just gives you a little badge. But thank you very much. And of course, yeah, we always appreciate anything else. All right, so you guys are pretty smart here. Come to Atlanta, Tom. I'd love it. I got to come watch the basketball over in America. I am super pumped to do that at some time in the future. I miss it already. I miss America very much. I got to say, you Americans, you're lucky. But Australia is very lucky. It's a beautiful country. But I'm a little bit capitalistic. So I got to say, I was loving it. I just felt like, I don't know if any Australians might feel this, but I felt like it was pretty free. I think your political system's a bit crazy. Let me get that right out of there. But yeah, it was a great time. I do love the steaks. The steaks were great. Vegas was strange, but pretty good. And yeah, I enjoyed it very much. It was great. We'll come back soon. Island reversal. Island reversal. That is right. You guys are smart. And of course, you know. And this is the possibility here. So we've had two kind of dojis, which basically means there's indecision at the peak. So why I wanted that poll was because I think this is kind of what markets are getting at here. It looks like we're overbuying. So we're overbuying on the short term, and we're probably a little bit too bullish, but you do not want to forget the stats that we said today. Remember those Whaley stats that we shared? Grant also has shared Whaley stats. We love Whaley breadth thrusts. We shared those a few months ago. It helped us to define that we were bullish off the August bottoms, that we were bullish off the most recent bottom. And we are still bullish, but I think this could be an island reversal. And in fact, if today can hold and kind of signal around here, a gap down could actually be significant because we'd be getting overbought across the board, massive transactions. Look at the volumes here through the OPEX. I'm going to read some volume trades right now just so you can get an idea. 1 second. I might just have to share the screen off for a second here. Don't worry, it's not dead. Where is this? I've got it here. I had it prepped for you. Don't worry, I do prep for the streams. Where is my prep? And I've lost my prep. Of course I would. What the hell? All right, I'll get it back up. Here we go. We're going to get it back up. Yeah, so the idea of an island reversal is a real possibility. Now, 5606 would probably be what I'd mark out. So that's 5606, 5617. This is where the big things are at. And I also think, well, that's of course not going to load, but basically when you look at options as well, there is a good chance that this will be the break of a temporary kind of short gamma style situation. So 5,500 then becomes one of the biggest openings, and between 54 and 55 it would be the level I would look for. So very good there. We've got another massive. Thank you very much. Wahunu Yukovic, thank you very much. Says gifted 5 FX Evolution memberships. That is much appreciated. Thank you very much, sir. That's very nice of you. So thank you and welcome anyone that became a new member. I wasn't sure if I can read that from here, but anyway, thank you very much. All right, so I'm just going to read out some numbers here. So these are just some of the big stocks getting some large trades. If you wish to go and have a look at them, you are welcome to. I'm going to get these for you right now. This is on Friday. So this is the OPEX close. And what the OPEX close showed us, I'm going to read these out. My goodness. Laggy thing. All right. SPY. Oh, what? It's breaking it. There's too much volume. It's breaking it. All right. We're going to get there eventually. All right. So 5606 while we wait for this thing to load. 5400 obviously on the bottom end. Let's have a look at the Nasdaq. So the Nasdaq's kind of playing the same game. We've got the resistance high here across the board, what I call the bear bust area. So we had our first major res, rejected twice, absolutely slammed it, which is obviously quite a bullish move from the market. Then the market hit the second level instantaneously, found resistance around that zone. And that's, of course, where we find ourselves right now. So this is, of course, a very, very, very key point for this market. All right, here we go. I'm going to read them out. SPY, 22.5 billion in trade. NVDA, 19.4 billion in trade. This is a Friday. Microsoft, 16.9 billion in trade in terms of a large single transaction. These are single transactions that went through on Friday. Amazon, you can go look at these charts if you wish to, so you can see how big these trades are. Amazon, $13.8 billion. PLTR, $11.2 billion. AVGO, $6.97 billion. These are no joke. Tesla also getting a monster on it. One of the biggest trades we've seen in a very long time in Tesla, $6.49 billion. And it goes on and on and on and on and on through a whole bunch of things. Some other big ones, JP Morgan, $3.11 billion. ZOM, so that's ExxonMobil, $3.16 billion. So these are big trades. Now, if you just go and actually think about it, these are all OPEX trades. So you always get big ones around there. But some of these are the largest trades we've seen in 2 years. In fact, Apple had, if I'm not mistaken, the largest single transaction that we've seen in 2 years. So some big stuff coming through there. Also some big stuff coming through on the Qs. And the thing that makes me wonder about it is it's all at what, guys? It's all at resistance. So because there's so many of these trades happening all at resistance, it has me saying, let's just not be FOMO-ish. I understand the data looks pretty good. I understand everything looks pretty good, but I'm not feeling FOMO here. Does anyone actually feel FOMO when they look at that chart? Really? Quillow, thank you very much. $10. Your lucky night, Tom. Man, you guys are bringing the heat. Maybe it's that music. I'll keep playing that music. Thoughts on petroleum stocks? We'll check it out soon. Are these CTA stocks? No, that they were CTA purchases. They won't be. What they'll be is they're just giant transactions that have gone through in single. Thanks, Quillow, as always. No way, no FOMO. Thank you very much. Appreciate it. Absolutely. Tom, look at the breakout in the US dollar 10-year on the monthly chart. Check it out in a moment. Hello, world, for sure. No FOMO here, especially when you say what the hell's going on. Yep. So you're telling me that my trades of $500 will not move the market. Chicken and chips, I have bad news for you. Okay. I'm sorry to tell you this, but your $500 to Wall Street, they say you are the exit liquidity. I was actually playing with that. Does anyone think that it's funny? There's a meme at the moment. I actually want to make the shirt, and it says, obviously I'm just picking fun chicken chips, but yeah, it says like, "You are the exit liquidity." I would wear that shirt. It's pretty funny. No, definitely wait and see. Yeah, I agree. So look, island reversal, not many people talking about that. That's something to think about. Overbought market, most likely. Massive, massive transactions at the highs, including the Qs here, and a monstrous resistance. This has me thinking, well, wait a second, let's just chill. Just chill, hey? Because look at Russell. It's the same thing. So I know everyone's getting bullish, and probably they'll forget about it if the market pulls back like 4%. You know, it's like fishbowl memory. $500 equals half a lobster. In Vegas, it probably equals a quarter of a lobster. That Iron Chef guy is not cheap. I went there, and it's like everything was too expensive. US 2K, yeah, look, again, resistance. So when markets sink like this, we've got gold, we've got silver, we've got IWM, Russell 2000, we've got Nasdaq, we've got the S&P 500, and we even have crypto. Look at Bitcoin. It hit into our 64K and started to struggle around there. So this is a synchronization during one of the worst weeks of the year statistically, where every market's actually hit a peak, yet everyone's incredibly bullish. Interesting stuff. What do you guys think about that? Let's get some comments here in the chat and I'll read them and we'll see what's going on. What's your thoughts on Airbnb? Maybe we'll look at that in a moment. I really need a real-time stock screener. If anyone knows one, please send me the name. There you go. You can ask the question. Intel is flying again. Yeah, that's right, because it's a rotation into crappy stocks that were once hated. That's the kind of benefit stocks. Now, this is actually a very big day for Intel, and you brought it up. It was time for me to talk about it. Yeah, it's up 1.42%. This is a pretty critical session for it because stocks that are beaten down like this, look at the volumes coming through on them, like a lot of volume. And that's symptomatic with what, guys? Again, I'm asking the chat here today because we've got 1,000+ people here. By the way, sign up to the newsletter, get some value, get some edge, get some whatever they want to call it. Was it high gamma or something? What do people on Twitter call it? I don't know. They have some name for it. I can't remember what it is. Wyckoff accumulation? Yeah, it looks like one. That's right. That late cycle, well, late cycle wouldn't be this, but this would be kind of Wyckoff accumulation style. You've got a market that obviously comes down, hits a low, starts to consolidate, takes a new low. That's obviously trappy in nature. At the same time, you've got exceptionally good volume. That tells you that, yes, somebody is a seller, but someone's really excited about it too. And they are starting to purchase it up. So this is a pretty good day. I would like to see, of course, Intel hold above the 22, but it's not the worst chart I've ever seen in the world. You might say, well, this looks like crap, Tom. Intel sucks. Sure, but there are times to talk about Intel, and we've had some good trades on it here in the streams over time. And I think this is certainly a point. And this is happening across the board. Whether you look at a stock that we've long hated here on the channel, Roku, about 2 months ago, I liked this stock. And I was like, damn, this stock looks really good. It's actually another Wyckoff base, different form of Wyckoff, but another Wyckoff base. Very strong coming out of the gate. It's actually one of the best returns of the year now in terms of percentages. So Roku suddenly comes out of the gates. Then we get Square as well. Block, another 2021 stock. Again, finding a lot of strength just a few weeks ago coming into the FOMC. And these were all ahead of the FOMC. They started to run up. So there's a lot of kind of like rotation from the what's hot into the what's not. Has anyone else been starting to notice that there is this kind of strange rotation happening underneath the hood? Let us know in the chat. I didn't want to buy any Palantir at 14. So yeah, feeling the FOMO. PLTR, certainly a quality stock in terms of movement here. I also think retail is really slamming it into a lot of Kramers out there. You didn't want to buy it at 14. 14 is not too bad. Obviously, another big base form. I liked it 14. I liked the earnings over here in February. And obviously, we've been quite bullish, especially this year. Now, I did think 35 would maybe stop it for a little bit. And it does look like it's a little overbought. So I would think that at the moment it's probably going to find resistance. But look at these volumes, these OPEX volumes. Look at this. The transactions are through the roof. Wow. I mean, that's no joke, eh? When was the last time we saw that during a natural earnings season? These were huge. Yes, we are at the top looking very frothy. Yeah, I think we're at a temporary kind of possible resistance. And that's what I want to talk to you guys about today, because it's very easy to get super bullish. You can be if you have a longer term, like, multi-month aspect. But if you're trading, I would say we're sinking resistances. So that's the thing here. All fundamentals are exact same, but worse. Yep. Yes, for sure. I'm looking at China rotation looking like it's going to pop. Well, it's been a nice one. Now, I get a lot of hate for this particular trade. And again, it's sinking actually to a high right now. But has anyone been on the China bandwagon recently? Anyone here in the chat actually been on this thing? Miguel says, I'm moving to China. You get some char seal over there. You'll like that, the char seal. What do you want in China? If you go to Beijing, it'll be like a bunch of buns. You'll eat a lot of buns. Shanghai food's pretty good. Canton, it's pretty good. I own JD at 20. Interesting. Me, no, I have not. Tesla, we'll look at it in a moment. Don't worry. All these large transactions are attempt to grab gains before everyone tanks to cover losses and buys on dips during the crashes with cash. Don't be fooled by large buys during the dumb FOMO. Whoa. You assume that we think they're buys. Large transactions at a resistance probably aren't buys. They'll be hedging contracts in options, but they'll also most likely be people dumping into an event that is expected to have big volume. So that's why the OPEX is so important, because it's such a big key level. Anyone else cutting out? Someone says here, Jeff says it's cutting out. Shouldn't be cutting out, man. We've got the fastest internet in Australia here. I bought 1,000 megabits per second or whatever it is. 1,000, okay? I did it for you guys because it's not cheap. 1,000. In Australia, where we have kangaroo internet, 1,000 is not... I moved house. I bought damn fast internet, and it better be damn well working. Crisp and clear. Thank you very much. Not cutting out. Good. All right, we've got 26 minutes till the market opens. HSI obviously at res. All I'm saying here is that this is a classic case of don't listen to the narrative and instead follow the price action. A lot of people send me messages and they say, Tom, thanks for a couple of things. Number one, abundance mindset. I want to always say to you guys, never feel FOMO. I know it's easy to feel FOMO here. I would not feel any. I feel zero FOMO. Zero. You might say, well, that's easy for you to say, Tom, because you're set. Sure, I've got set positions, but still you're going to be coming from the abundance mindset. There are plenty of other crappy stocks or beaten down things or things that have replication. Everyone hated this. The trade was there. The replication, the setup was there. This is actually a classic from my day trading masterclass. It's actually 3 trades in one. It's pretty sweet. Few people out there that have done the course will know. But this is just basically leave your opinion at the door. And that's what that trade is. It's leave your opinion at the door. I don't care about your negative articles. I'm going to instead look at the price action. And ultimately what you have to do is you have to keep looking at the leaders and the laggards. Here we have Tencent. It held very firm after the rest of the market was going down. Someone mentioned JD before. Well, this stock, I mean, does that look like crap for you on a chart? I mean, when I look at this, let me get rid of this for a second. What type of potential pattern is that forming or maybe even formed? Again, they're all at res, which I find very interesting. So we've got gold, we've got silver, we've got SP500, we've got Russell 2K, we've got the Qs, we've got HSI, we've got this market here, JD maybe even. And they're all at kind of these resistance levels. Again, that's basically an inverse head and shoulders. So, yeah, it's happening all over the place. There's all these kind of sync ups that we seem to be seeing across most of these markets as everyone FOMOs off into the sun. Now, people asked about Tesla before. Fair enough. This one here is in positive gamma and still is not at resistance. So it is up here this morning, 1.93, probably beating most of the market. I would like to see it at least at minimum get the gap fill at 246, which it might be going for this morning. So 246 is the key first level, then obviously 250 from a psychological / options level. So really, I would say that this one's behind. The two stocks that are behind right now are, funnily enough, Tesla and actually NVIDIA. NVIDIA is quite far behind. I don't know if this one can get up to this gap. I think some people will consider that already filled. But again, let's look at the other one. The leader of the market, semis, hits the gap fill last week. I'm very cautious here. Can everybody see what I'm looking at? You guys, we've got thousands of people here. Thank you very much for tuning in for the Monday Open. Much appreciated, guys. Smash the like button if you enjoy it. Also, if you're interested, I will be posting a couple of thoughts over on LinkedIn as well. Yes, I'm on LinkedIn now and using that a little bit. So if you want to boost my account, come and follow me on LinkedIn. There you go. There's my LinkedIn. Come check it out. And we'll be posting on the FX Evolution channel and myself as well, linking them together. So there'll be some cool articles there coming through, a little bit more long form stuff we haven't done before. But if you want to check it out, come and join it. So remember to follow that one, guys, and get that in. I'm short on semis. I'm long on NVIDIA. NVIDIA is a great stock. It's, I couldn't believe. I'm going to do a video soon, which I think has some insightful stuff on NVIDIA, because I've done some thinking about some of these companies in AI, and I truly believe that some of these businesses will become obscenely profitable in the future. But I still think that we're going to go through a crash before that. And I want to talk to you guys about it. So yeah, semiconductors hits the high. Again, just sinking across the board. We just have to be careful here. You can't, this is not the point where I would have FOMO if I was a trader. That's just my opinion. If you clear the levels, if you clear silver, if you clear, Russell and Nasdaq and S&P, sure. But we've got to be keeping that in mind. You also notice that even Ethereum's playing catch up, going back to these resistance areas such as 2775, it's trying to get there. Bitcoin hits again the high, finds resistance. If it gets through 64.5, then you're probably going to move towards 68. But again, it's sinking up this morning, and you'll notice which one's performing better. Ethereum is catching up. So if you've ever wondered, over the last, thanks for the follows on LinkedIn, by the way, guys. I see a couple coming in. Appreciate that. Definitely follow along. I'll post it one more time here. So if you want to read some articles that are a little bit different, we'll chuck those out. Do you do lives every weekday? We do lives in our private streams. Yes, we do lives for the open and the close. And obviously, we also do the lives when it comes to Mondays here for you guys for free. Tom put the VWAP on BTC top. Yeah, we can do an anchored VWAP if you want. You want to put one over here, yeah? You're talking top, or just fake top? All right, we'll put one over here. This, yeah? The only problem I have with this VWAP, by the way, this VWAP is okay, but the issue I have with it is look how many times it's given you invalid signals. So you could say, well, look at this. Oh my God. Yeah, baby, look at that. So good. But I wouldn't probably use that one. I'd be probably more likely to use it off other points. Now, the high is still the more valid because, of course, you've got the actual all-time high. But I think my one would probably be off the bottom here. I don't really see one off the top. But it doesn't really matter. Who cares? You can say anchored VWAPs there as well if you wish to. And it is there. From the all-time high. So therefore, yeah, I mean, it's just another reason of synchronization. So obviously there. Kevin says, did everyone thumbs up? I hope so. That'd be cool. Yeah, so we have indecision, 1, 2, 3, 4 days of indecision on Bitcoin. If Bitcoin slams this area and finds a big bull, then I think it's going to 68. And I got asked a question, and I would rather you guys answer it than I'll answer it. And the question's a good one. Which will we hit first? Gold to $4,000 or Bitcoin. So this is gold. Okay. Gold to $4,000 or Bitcoin equals 100K. Go. You guys guess it. Which one? How do I get your everyday live channel, Tom? You can sign up for free over at fxevolution.com. 7-day free trial, man. Come and join us. All right, here we go. We got the votes coming in. People are going through. I sold last week. I'm sitting 100% in cash. Is from Ben. Right now, cash earns 4.5 to 5% in my Fidelity account, waiting for the market to pull back, looking for opportunities. Yeah, cash free rate's one of the best it's been in a while, Ben, so I don't blame you. Looking at MACD and NVIDIA, not a FOMO thing. Dow Jones Dave, if you've got multi couple of week here, it's cool. Barry says, the insane volatility has turned me into a day trader. I never thought it would come to this, but I'm finding it unable to hold anything overnight, in and out each day, indices only. Yeah, you're probably, look, I'll just be real. That's usually a symptom of over trading or trading too big. So trading too big is what usually that is a symptom of. Hey, Tom, used to work at Meals on Wheels. I used to volunteer in the kitchen for one of their centers back in the early 2000s. Yeah, man, I just did. It's like community service. I used to do it with my granddad. So basically, if anyone doesn't know, Meals on Wheels, like I don't know, do they have it in America? It's like where you take, may sound crazy, but you basically take food around in your car or bike or whatever to people that can't cook for themselves and like disabled people and other things. And you deliver it to them. My granddad, I don't know, he instilled that in me. So I did it for quite a long time. Yeah. It was good. I say give back to people if you can. And that was one of I used to plant trees as well. The two things, I always say this, there's a lot of people on the internet that talk a lot of smack about doing stuff, but they don't go and do it. Like I always say, instead of talking crap about the environment, why don't you go do something about it? So I always encourage people, go and try to plant some trees. It's actually quite rewarding. Do it with your family. There's in Australia anyway, do land care. Contact your local land care, and they have events all the time. Go plant a couple of trees. Very rewarding. You can then drive past in the future and say, damn right, I planted those. I planted a lot of trees. Way too many. I'm almost bored of planting them, but I've done a lot. Truly Messiah says, becoming a YouTube member, thank you very much. BTC has higher volatility. Yeah, I actually looked at the Sharp ratio. I got abused by someone in Bitcoin the other day about this. So my answer is Bitcoin 100K. I might be a gold fanboy or whatever you want to say, but I think Bitcoin will hit 100K before gold hits 4. You got to think about market cap sizes. 2,600 on gold at the moment. Obviously, our call is 3K. But yeah, it's pretty wild. Yes, also did it with my Gramps. Amazing, Jeff. Great to hear. Yep, we have that in the US. Very cool. Lobster for mobster in Vegas. Okay. What is making me stroke my beard a bit is NVIDIA semis not leading the market as we have all-time highs. Correct. This bubble was built on semis, and if they're not leading, you have to suspect things a little bit. I agree. Semis are the most scary component. The only red I have on my main charts is semis. I'm very, very, very scared of semis because even though I'm long them, I do agree with you. It is a serious concern, guys. Serious concern. All right, 15 minutes till the market opens. Yeah, my guess is Bitcoin first to 100K over that. Plant trees for your kids. Cool. I like the side story. No worries. Certainly a cool thing. I volunteer at Food Distribution Center in IL. I notice a lot of Americans do. I think it's very commendable to you guys. People don't, a lot of Australians do too, but I think America has like a really strong community aspect to doing those things, which I like. Can't check surf because of damn land care trees. That was probably me, Trent. So I blocked your surf. Sorry, sir. I put a big one in front of you, a big giant gum, so you can't see it. There's the koala in the top of the gum, and then it drops on you when you try to check the surf. They call it the drop bear. Yeah, will do. Absolutely. All right, let's continue. So Tesla definitely behind 250 gap fill, certainly possible on the up end if we hold up here today. But we are in res across the board. I'll be looking for closures above this zone to really give us further clarity. All right, let's go through some of your stocks. Give me stocks, guys. It is a tough day on the open, which is why I wanted to go through the fact that we're at resistance on everything. If you're a dirty bear, I don't blame you, frankly, to have shots at these levels, but I don't think I would do it with anything less than an option if you were going to do it, because you don't really have confirmation. You've just got resistances across lots of things. And we've seen this before. The cool thing about Mondays is we've had so many Mondays where it's just been getting absolutely smashed down, yeah? And we've just seen that sink and we've gone, oh, baby. It's time for you guys to make your own decisions. That's what it was time for. All right, here we go. We've got US 10-year monthly chart. I did promise you I'd do that. One also, just before I mention this, not treasuries, don't really care about them at the moment. High yield bonds continuing to go up. That's actually not a bearish sign for the markets either. That's actually pretty strong. So something to watch. All right, let's do US 10Y. US 10Y, very cool. You can see here that we have you're saying breakout to the downside. Monthly. Let's have a look at monthly. Okay. Yes, I guess, especially if the monthly closes down. But what should we really be discerning from this? We already know that yields are going down. We already know that at some point there's going to be some form of nasty recession, probably the next couple of years. I think it's inevitable now. I think that 10-year rate's probably clearly going to 3.4. So that's going to go down further. I wouldn't really discern too much for that. I'll just do this one here because a lot of people have been asking me about oil. I'm still bullish oil, interested to see how it trades today around 70 if it comes down. Looking towards 74 on the barrel. Also watch 69. So 69 and 70 will be the key levels for oil for the bulls. And I am predominantly bullish on the small structure. Kind of like I'm weirdly bullish on the US dollar right now at these levels. No recession, Tom. They changed the criteria. By my criteria, there is a recession in the next couple of years. Okay? My criteria. And my criteria is the market goes down well over 20%. In fact, I have a chart prepared for you, sir. Where is this chart? I have it somewhere here. No. There it is. Look, peak to trough, 24%. Except I'm going to label what I believe is coming. This might sound crazy. Okay, I'm going to say it right now. 50% negative plus. Ooh, am I crazy? I'm going to give a year. No, I'm not really going to give a year. I'm going to say by 2028. Why can't I cover myself for now until I get further information, and then I'll let you guys know. But yes, somewhere between now and probably 2026, 2028, somewhere in there is where I feel like it's going to be. Nasty times ahead. And I wouldn't be getting as bullish as someone like Tom Lee is, even though he's got some great thoughts. I do love the Tom Lee. All right, let's go to Coin. Yes, now this one is a good stock at the moment. Terrible TA on Coin itself, but a monster trade at a fairly decent level. 150 got a huge trade on it. We reported on that, obviously, with a 2x leveraged Coin ETF seemed to come through. I think it's betting on Bitcoin in October. So I think there's a couple of buyers that are saying, you know what? We believe in the Bitcoin legacy. We think that Bitcoin can do better coming into obviously October. It's probably going to go over like 3,000. So that's 3,000. What am I talking about in Bitcoin? Probably going to go over 65,000 to 68,000. And then when we get over those, of course, Coin will do quite well because alts will start, and that usually gets the volume in. There's not really a great TA level here on Coin in terms of other than psychological 150 and probably being oversold. So yeah, key level is not really there, but certainly a very, very large amount of trades have come through. PayPal, yeah, fair enough. So let's have a look at PayPal. So we've got about 9 minutes till the market opens this week. PayPal, nice breakout on last week. I think it's another one of those stocks that's rotating because it was being heavily sold. I was quite bullish on it into around the 76 area bracket. I actually dropped positions there. Maybe that was stupid. Maybe this will go higher. I'm not huge on payment processing apps anymore. I think it's a very competitive field, and a lot of the big guys are in it now pretty heavily. But still, that's a breakout, and it's relatively strong, probably looking towards 85 if you were to say that one. Can you check out Pin Duo Duo? Sure. Let's have a look at Pin Duo Duo. I think that's what it's called. This was a beaten down position. Actually, quite good weekly close on that. Yeah, very decent. Is it worth risk reward? Maybe, maybe. So this one had a shocking bad, well, an earnings that seemed to shock the market on forward guidance, I believe. That is a strong-ish close, but they were red, which is a bit of a problem. Stops would be having to be below the low. This is a calculated risk trade. You're basically looking at a 2-to-1. If you can get it, you're going for 120. Obviously, your stop has to be below the low. They're dips, but you're actually buying the V and not the dip. And that because you're actually buying some form of recovery here. And you'll notice I had marked out 97.22. So yes, it's an improvement. Certainly a stock that is turning. Be wary though. It's certainly a problem there because it is quite oversold, but it must have sold off for a reason. I don't know about anything about the fundamentals on this company. BTC cup and handle on the weekly time frame. Weekly time frame, you say? Oh my goodness. Okay. One of these positions. Yeah. I always love my cup and handles that become like this. You see it, guys? It's a big cup. One of those English cups. By the way, any English people from England here, I have a question for you. What is the best tea to buy? I've become a connoisseur of things. So now that I need to become a connoisseur of things, I want to know from the English, the tea lovers. I want the best English breakfast tea. Give it to me. Which one? What is the brand I should be buying, guys? What should I be importing to Australia? That's the cup and handle you're looking at. Look, you're actually not. You're not wrong. It's a big ass cup and handle. That's a very delicious. We'll put some nice. Put some tea in there or coffee or whatever the hell it is. But yeah, these are cup and handle. It's obviously a very strong flag potential here on the right. Now, the last time we saw one like this was actually my favorite, which of course I have here. And you can see, or like here's your kind of cup handle. And obviously you can see I've got it left there just for fun. So yeah, so far the cup and handle has been going quite strong. And I would agree with you that Bitcoin is due for some big gains. And this wasn't really why I called big ass moves on something like gold, but obviously it is around the level. 1800s around the level. I started to go very, very bullish on gold. Very, very, very bullish. Tom, can you analyze Micron MU? Got an earnings call on Wednesday. Well, actually, earnings is coming up very soon as well. That's probably going to be the catalyst for markets. Micron was quite heavily beaten down. It has... Oh, it's showing good return here off the low, but I don't know. I'd be terrified of the earnings, but that's just, that's the risk. So again, if you were to buy this, you know where you're looking for. You're looking for these two levels in here, and stops will have to be below the lows. And it's probably a decent V turn here. Good questions, guys. Thank you very much. Nice work. It'll crash 36%. Thank you very much. PayPal lost its eBay shine. True. My shares bought at 300 should be happy. Oh, that's for PayPal, I can only assume. Yeah, freaking PayPal. It was pretty bad. TLT thoughts, thinking good as recently 200 basis point cut. It's the most obvious trade in the markets. So you've got to remember treasuries has been an obvious trade now for about a year, and it is so loaded that I feel like there's going to be some weird event on treasuries. And I know I've said that. I can't explain exactly what the weird event's going to be, but I feel like there is a weird event. There is a strange thing that's going to occur. Thanks for the donations today, guys. Thanks for the members that have come through. Let's answer some more questions. We're resistance across the board on every single, pretty much one of the major markets, which means that we're at, well, a point of resistance. After the 50 basis point cut, we basically have been seeing what we thought we would, which is laggards and loser stocks starting to do better as they recover, because, of course, they can now maybe breathe a little bit easier knowing that they may be able to refinance their debt in the future. Yorkshire tea is garbage. I thought Yorkshire Gold was good. Why is it garbage? Twinings. Yeah, I've had Twinings. Earl Grey and Captain Picard. Yorkshire Gold. I thought it was Yorkshire Gold. What? So who says that this is bad? Coffee. Well, I already drink coffee. By the way, La Mazzocco, sponsor me. La Mazzocco, sponsor me, please. I need more La Mazzocco machine. Thank you very much. I'll even do a video for you where I'll say, this is a La Mazzocco machine. It's great. David Beckham has one. You should buy it. And then I'll take the La Mazzocco machine for free. Thank you very much. British tea is like crack for your teeth. Let my wife choose. Not sure. Ratings downgrade. Am I the only one getting interrupted by commercials? Sorry, sir. YouTube, what is it called? Premium. Brits hold deep convictions about their tea. It's good though. That's fine. In Melbourne, everybody just goes on about coffee all the time, which I love. Coffee, number one. Green matcha. Tom, can you please pump BTC? Oh, look, I'm not negative on BTC, and sometimes I have been, but no, I'm feeling it. It's all right. I think you're at res though, man. Gold is overinflated. I don't think so. Gold is underpriced. You see, that's when you're a psycho, laser-eyed, crazy bull on gold. I can say to you right now that although it's at a resistance, it is still underpriced. And you know why? I have one word for you. It's actually two words. Lost decade. Okay? That's all you need. Central banks lost decade. There you go. That's 4 words. Meta is overinflated. Maybe. I don't even know why it's worth that much. Cappuccino every morning. We have a machine. Very good. Thank you very much. Like the video. Appreciate it. GDX still underpriced towards gold. So yes, GDX is still good. Silver still cheap compared to gold as well. However, no breakout. So what can we do? Jonathan says, amazing information, Tom. Thanks for your time and thanks for helping folks. I want to say thank you to you guys. If it wasn't for you guys watching, spending your time with us every Monday, obviously, investing in yourselves, hopefully by finding out extra stuff about our channel and what we do and the work that I've put in as well over the years, going through the minefield that is this bloody industry, then I want to say thank you to you, because without you guys watching, liking, commenting, sometimes getting angry with me, sometimes abusing me, it's okay, sometimes sending me death threats. Don't do that anymore, please. Only one. But anyway, in those things, very, very good. In terms of overall, I appreciate it. And I never thought we'd get here. But we did. And that's thanks to you guys. Thanks, Tom, for valuable insights. No worries. No worries, Grant. Appreciate it, man. Brandon C says, thanks, Tom. I've learned so much from you over the years. Good, Brandon. Keep going. Never stop learning, bro. Never stop learning. You can't. I learn. You guys have sent me stuff. Grant shared with me something the other day, and I was like, I met up with him for a coffee, and I said, that's good stuff, Grant. He's like, what is? I said, so just one of the things she sent. And he goes, only one. I said, well, that was the best one. No, Grant's got great stuff. But generally speaking, like, we're always finding out new information. And what you've got to do is be slightly self-adaptive. Have a great core structure in your markets. And you might say, well, why are we talking about all this today? Because unfortunately, these markets are all at res. So as we open here, ding, 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 by the way, guys, we're opening at res, except for some of the stocks that are kind of a little bit behind and not quite there yet. And this is the beautiful thing. You're syncing up a lot of stuff, which is really nice. Now, Microsoft and Apple got monster trades on them. Look at this. What is this? My favorite stock. Why can't you even put a green candle in? 1 down, 2 down, 3 down, 4 down. That sucks. This sucks. A lot of people ask me, do I want to buy Microsoft at this price? No. It's that simple. Silver is open. Silver is not above the level, though. Silver is below the level. So anyway, market's open. Let's have a look at what's floating everybody today. Let's have a look where Wall Street is putting all their money in. We will track it right now together. NVIDIA to the move. The kangaroo you hit over the head was sent by the angry viewer. Yeah, that was sad, man. I was actually very lucky. Unfortunately, I had someone behind me, so I just had to go fast. Well, not fast, as in I just had to put the brakes on a little bit. But it wasn't the best. XME. So we've got here what looks like a very subdued market, but it's playing a little bit of catch up with semis. So NVDA 0.6. So semis up 0.72, XLC, so communications. We'll just put the Coifin app here. Not sponsored by Coifin, but I do like the Coifin app. Grant knows the Coifin guys, Rob, pretty well. So clean energy, regional banks, obviously on the down end. Nothing really to be concerned about here, but again, we're at res, and we've got REITs up there, XME. Just, I would say, like a standard kind of day. Semis dropping a little bit here after the open. Home builders up, which is again is not an overall negative. So today's close, I think, will be more important in terms of the show. So we'll of course be looking at that quite a lot. Can you please take a look at ETH? We sure can. We sure can, because these are the markets we have to look at today. ETH, I feel like it's in the middle of nowhere. It should be moving towards 2760. Behind Bitcoin by a decent amount. It should be sinking with this price right now, because we know Bitcoin hit, what was it, 65, 64.5 or something. And 64.5 is the high. So obviously it's the resistance point. Shop, it's at its 200 week. Let's have a look at Shop for you. Thank you again, guys, for everyone that came out. Scan the thing for the free weekly newsletter. And if you want to as well, click on the comments. I think it's like a pinned comment. And also just a quick reminder as well, if you haven't already, come check us out on LinkedIn. I'll be posting a bunch of stuff there for the FX Evolution channel and on my thing as well. So it's pretty cool. Tesla ripping, good, should be. But again, it should just prove that you can see how these markets sink. It's you got to think of the markets. The uniqueness of our channel, what we do, is we cover way too many markets. It's insane. Who in their right mind would make a channel daily show where you cover the US dollar, gold, silver, oil, S&P, Qs, Bitcoin, yields, bonds, Tesla, NVIDIA, macro? It's crazy, yeah? But we do it because I want to show you guys what I figured out a long time ago, which is it is a disgusting synchronization machine. And once you start to think of it that way, you can start to get a bit of edge from that as well. Nike long term, yeah, we can check, but yeah, we got a lot of resistancy kind of things. You said this is on the 200 daily, is that right? I don't have that on my chart, but I'll take your word for it. Yeah, it's in res as well. It's not a bad stock, obviously turning around. Nat Gas, please, Tom. Happy Monday. Thank you very much, Erica. Appreciate it. That's called an ETF. Macro is very important. Macro is very important as long as you don't get bogged down with crap information. The problem with macro is if you actually look at macro specifically as a fund investment concept or an edge investment concept, you're probably going to lose. Macro data and stuff can be, macro, I don't know how you want to look at it. I believe people that look at macro only underperform. I think I can prove that statistically, by the way. But I think that there is a point where you want to understand the bigger picture, and you've got to bring that together. Please tell me about NVIDIA long term. As long as we're continuing the bubble fest at the moment, NVIDIA should be okay, but it's stuck in. I'll talk about my long-term vision for the stock in the future. I will say that I'm not surprised on Tesla pushing for the gap this morning. It's actually about to hit it. I did hit it. Yeah. So, yeah. Again, it just kind of shows you, like, you hit these points here. Google also ripping. I took profits. Yeah, Google had some good big trades on it. You guys enjoying those big trades that we've been putting through? Pretty nice. And wait, I haven't been putting through, and I've been sharing with you guys. Yeah, Google was another classic of an oversell that ended up turning into a decent purchase. Similar to actually the coin situation, not necessarily a exceptionally great buy the dip zone because you didn't fill gap or anything, but we did have an oversold sold position. And yeah, I think Google got close to where you'd want to be looking. JD's moving up. I exited Google last week. Cool, Ben. No worries. Dow Transports are flat from last Friday's drop. I'm starting to use Dow Transports a lot less than I used to, but yes. I use it as a piece, and you're right. Cool. Guys, you are the best community out there on the internet for this stuff. I've got to say, absolutely smashing it. Are you going to do any live trades again? You mean when I did one last week, Ravi? When I yelled at the screen and screamed at it to go down. Yes. I don't really live trade on these streams because, of course, we are regulated. But at the same time, we go through the key levels. And you guys, look, if you don't learn how to fish, for yourself, I might have a heart attack tomorrow. It's possible. The sugar industry could kill me. And and if that happens, what are you going to do? Remember, if you rely on anyone else to make or break your future, that is a terrible time and a terrible place to be, I believe. You must educate yourself, whether it's in trading or investing, whether it's in your career, whether it's in, I don't know, anything that you love. Educate yourself, continue to improve at it, love it, and just do better. And you will be able to. I don't believe in the saying of, follow your dreams, you can achieve anything, because that gives you that gives you the wrong sense of purpose. Like, I think that some people just can't achieve that particular industry. However, when you find something that you have edge and you're better at it than the general population, that's what you should really angle in on. And sometimes that's going to be trading. But you got to keep doing that. We know it's too much, Tom, but don't stop. That's all right. We do it. We love it. Otherwise, I get bored. Vegemite will kill me. It's possible. XLY, XLP. Yeah, it's a good code. We love this code. So this code obviously shows you the late cycle pretty much progress at the moment, which is up, down, and all around. So at the moment, I would say nothing to really report home about here. It's just kind of showing you that the economy is not cooked, but the economy is not super strong. It's a lagging, crappy economy that is being propped by Fed money. That's pretty much what it is. It's the Fed machine. This is late cycle. That's the Fed machine. Slow, lagged growth. So I'm not alone at scraping at the charts to go in a certain way. Rex, I guarantee you're not. Let's actually ask the chat here before we finish up today. Who has screamed at the chart recently to go up or down, and you've almost spat on your screen? I did it almost last Thursday. You know why? Because I was doing one of the scalps. I was setting up a day trading masterclass scalp, and I set it up, and I was like, "Oh, it's so painful. I don't know how you guys do this anymore." Because for me, the thing is that I don't want to be a slave to the screens. So everything I set up is just a bazillion alerts. And then if an alert goes off, then I'm just like a machine. Do this, etc. So there will be a lot of people that do scream at it. Derek screams at it. No emotions. Nope. Good people. All these ones that they're getting through. The temperament is good. Try blowing the candles up. Bob's done that. Silent screaming. So there we go. Screamed at BTC head fakes. Crypto people usually scream the most. They're the ones hiding under the desk sometimes. They're hiding because they're scared of the Bitcoin when it crashes. During those days, a hawk chewer makes it so much better. Jesus. I scream because of autism. My goodness. That's not good. Anthony says, yes, I've been bamboozled the last few days. Yep. And I'm the candle whisperer. So I only whisper to the candles. I don't scream at them. Twice today already. So technically, if you are screaming at the screen, then you probably should stop scalping. That would be the best thing to do. Set alerts, guys. Get the hell off the chart. Don't be a slave to them. Believe me, you don't need to put as much time into the charts. This is the one industry where sometimes watching the charts can be scarier than you think. And instead, what you should be doing is coming up with well-critiqued thought processes. To end today's session, what do we know? Resistance for S&P, Qs, Russell 2000, gold, silver, HSI, Bitcoin, and then, of course, we also saw the potential of a miniature little turn here in the dollar. So there's a lot going on. We obviously synced up the the gap fill for Tesla, and this was a classic behind the rest of the market. So it's starting to play catch up. I would like to Tesla to absolutely smash 250, and I feel like this is also against the today. It would be cool if it did that, because that would actually sync up a little bit as well with the options flow. Yeah. It doesn't exactly look like what I'd say is a super strong market here at the res, though. Yes, the trend's up. Yes, of course, I wouldn't go against it yet, but I would be paying a lot of attention. And by the way, that hood stock continues to do damn nicely. Look at it go. Come on, baby. Let's go to $34 over the next 6 months. Why not? Why can't we do that? Watch the charts and change your orders. If you do that, Oren will slap you. And I agree with Oren. Anthony says, I hope we all appreciate our lives and opportunities today. Yes, you are right. Done. Don't be a slave to the charts. Set alerts. I swear you're right. I am right on that because I did it. I went through the 18-hour days and the weirdness that I did back in 2007, 8, 9, 10, whatever it was. Trading doesn't have to be gambling. Invest and rest. I like your name, invest and rest. Look at this. Actually renamed himself or herself to invest and rest, to live by the mantra. I love it. I believe in silver. Very good. All right, guys. Thank you so much. Make sure to follow along. Check out the weekly newsletter. Sign up. Sydney and Melbourne people that are crazy enough to be up still, get in now, especially Melbourne. I got to close that one off soon. So thank you for the good support. Sydney, I just opened up 30th of October for the freebie, and it's going to be a great event, and I hope to meet a lot of you there. So, yes, let's get those ones stacked so that we can do it in the future for everyone else. If you don't come out in Australia, then no one else in the world will ever get to have these events, so come. But I know Melbourne's already working, so it's all good. All right, catch everybody. We'll see how this market closes. We'll be there at the end. We'll get the daily show out. Got a couple of good stats for you. But just to end again, where are we here? 100% probability based on that gap we had last week over the next 3 months. Please remember, it doesn't mean the next week or 2 weeks. It just means you got to keep that in the back of your mind. This is a great chart from Grant Hawkridge, who was in the chat earlier, showing you the overlays. And obviously, we are not necessarily at the highs here. Remember, what is important is that everyone right now might say, oh, yes, the markets are not at the top and everything. But you'll feel that most people can't keep a good temperament when the market drops even about 4 or 5%. And then all of a sudden, the end of the world is here. It's going to collapse. We saw that at the start of August. We saw that, of course, at the start of September. And now we're here at the back end of September in arguably the worst actual statistical period. And everyone is, as you would say before, bullish. So we need to be cautious. That's all. All right. You have a good one. Catch you for now. Bye-bye. See ya. Not even asking if you're going to come to Canada. I'd love to come to Canada. We'll do that if we go to the US, and we will eventually come to London as well. Just go stock tweets, see crazy people when the market drops. I do enjoy me some stock tweets chat on the stupid stocks, the ones that are up the top 5. Yeah, they're crazy. It's good times. Try BTC, 30% is nothing, but turns out the Sharpe ratio is quite good. Canberra is the capital of Australia. Yes, but it's also just a giant. There's some Australian flags there. There's a pretty good zoo. So if you come to Australia, this is if you're going to go to Canberra, I repeat, this is what it is. A giant lake, a decent zoo, some flags, and that's it. All right, everyone. Bye for now. See ya. Sorry for people in Canberra. You've got a big lake.